Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now, guys. If you guys are able to listen me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. No issues whatsoever, right? Yes? Okay, great. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So, how is everybody present in the boot camp, guys? Everybody good? Great? Amazing? What is the scenario? All good? Okay. So, I know this is a new boot camp. Some of you guys might be coming from the previous boot camp itself. Some of you guys might be joining us for the very first time at a boot camp on DevTown. It's at DevTown itself. So, I think so. A little bit of introductions are in order, right? So, I would love to know a little bit more about you guys first. Okay. So, where are you from? What are you currently pursuing? If you guys can let me know in the live chat, it would be great. I would love to know a little bit more about you guys. Like, for example, where are you from? What are you guys currently pursuing? So that I'm able to understand a little bit. After that, I will introduce myself. I will also introduce the boot camp to you guys, what we are going to do, and everything. So we have people joining us from Mumbai. We are having people from Pune, West Bengal, Bangalore, Kolkata, Delhi, Pakistan, Bangalore, Maharashtra. We have people from Gujarat, we have people from Karachi, we have people from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Nasik. A lot of people are from Maharashtra this time. That's great to see you guys. We have people joining us from Gaya. We have people joining us from Andhra Pradesh. We have people joining us from Telangana. We have people joining us from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh. It's great to see so many of you guys joining in for this particular boot camp, guys. It's really nice to see so many people actually interested in placements at the end of the day. So that's really great to see you guys right over here, and I hope so that you guys are able to learn a lot from this particular boot camp as well. Okay. So, keeping that in mind, guys, let me introduce myself to you guys as well. So my name is Shaurya Sana, and I will be your instructor for the next 7 days in this particular boot camp. A little bit of backstory about me. So I have been a software engineer. I've been a machine learning engineer. I have been a full stack developer. I've also worked in various different companies. So, for example, I've worked in Geo, I've worked in Reliance, I've worked in Google as an Explore ML lead as well. So that is a quick introduction about me. Now, in this particular bootcamp, what are we going to learn? That is also something that is very important, right? So, okay, many of you guys are asking about the previous class, that is the previous bootcamp, that is Python and AI. So, guys, the class for the Python and AI bootcamp is going to be done today. That is day 7. Okay, for the previous bootcamp at 9:20, I've already scheduled the class itself. You don't have to attend the class live. There is no particular compulsion for our previous students for the 7th day of the previous boot camp to attend it live. It will be today. Python and AI last class will be today at 9:20. Okay, on the YouTube channel itself. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so if somebody is asking the same question again in the live chat, please do answer them. The certificates for the previous bootcamp will be released in the next 6 to 7 days. Okay, after checking up all your attendance and everything, in the next 6 to 7 days, the certificates for the previous bootcamp will also be released. So again, guys, for those who will be asking the same questions, please be a darling and help me out with the same. Just make sure that you guys are able to answer them properly as well. Okay. So now coming back to this particular bootcamp, guys. Like I said, we will be learning C++ and data structures and algorithms in this particular bootcamp. Data structures and algorithms is a very huge topic. It takes almost 3 to 4 months to actually study data structures and algorithms. So I will be teaching guys how to learn. I will also be teaching guys some of the data structures. We will also be doing a little bit of competitive programming from lead code as well. And do not worry, there is no prerequisites for this particular bootcamp. Even if you don't know what is programming, you don't know what is C++, you don't know what is data structures and algorithms, I'll be teaching guys everything from the basics itself, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so we're starting from the basics from C++, then we'll be proceeding towards data structures and algorithms. We'll learn a little bit inside of data structures and algorithms, and then we'll be going to lead code in the way that it is intended, so that you guys are able to learn it properly. Okay, will that be fine with everybody? Please let me know. Will that be fine with everybody, guys? Please let me know. Yes? Okay, great. Now the entire bootcamp is completely free of cost. We don't charge anything for the boot camps. There are 2 certificates associated with the bootcamp as well, one from DevTown and one from Google. Both the certificates are also free of cost. We don't charge anything for the certificates as well. The point being that certificates are not given to everybody present in the bootcamp. Okay, they will only be given to those people who follow instructions, those people who are here to learn, who are actually learning something right over here, and to those people who will have 100% attendance. So on a daily basis, I will be taking up your attendance by giving you guys a Google form, which will be open for just 5 minutes somewhere in the middle of the bootcamp itself. While the class is going on, I'll be giving you guys a Google form right over there. And for those students who will be able to fill the form on time, that is within 5 minutes, because after that I'll be closing the Google form. So those students will be able to fill the form on time will be the only ones who will receive these certificates. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Yes. Okay, for those students who are asking for the previous bootcamp, guys, I have already answered the question. So if the other students that are there, they could provide them with an answer. It would be great, because I don't want to repeat the same stuff again and again and again. So if it's possible, guys, you guys remember the answer, please do let them know, so that they also are able to understand it. Okay, so let's get started with today's bootcamp, right, guys? Shall we start? No, the Google form will be shared here on the live chat. So if you are able to type in the chat, then you will be able to get the like Google form right with there. Okay. Okay. So let me just share my screen with you guys first of all. Give me a second. Put it here. StreamYard. Present. Share screen. Screen share. Okay, I hope so that you guys are able to see the screen absolutely clearly itself. Okay, so now that you guys are able to see that, let me open up some online code editor. So C++ online compiler, I'll just search for that, because see, try to understand this. Many of the students coming to this particular bootcamp might not have a particular laptop, they might not have a computer. So I want everybody to practice it as well. So we'll be using an online environment. Okay, so that if you don't have a computer, you can still do it from your mobile phone as well. I'm just taking up a random online compiler that is available right over there, as you're able to see. Okay, so, and I'm going to write the code inside of here. The first thing that I'm going to do is, before writing the first line of code, we'll try to understand, we'll just delete everything from here. We'll write it from scratch. We'll write every single line, and we'll try to understand every single line of code as well. Okay. Rose Ranjan, you are late in today's class. The class will be there today at 9:20. Python and AI class will be there at 9:20 today. Okay, so keep that in mind. Guys, if somebody is asking such type of questions, please help them out. I don't want to repeat the same answers again and again and again. I want you guys to focus upon the new class. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Okay, okay, so right over here, guys, let me start with the basics. So the first thing, whenever a new programming language or a new technology is being learned, a programmer first practice how to print hello world in that particular language. Like, how can I write a code that tells the computer to print something out on my screen? That is the first thing that every single programmer does right over there. Okay, so what are we going to do right over here is that we are going to start with that particular code itself. Let's get started. The first thing that is there is, so C++ as a code, as a particular programming language itself, uh, has a lot of tools inside of it. Okay. So for example, if I want to cook food, right, there are multiple ways of doing it. The first way is to go to the ancient times where we had to hunt our own food, we had to find our own food. We were hunter and gatherers, right? So we'll have to first hunt the food, then we'll have to bring it back to the cave, then we'll have to clean it up, we'll have to then make a fire. Okay, so we'll collect rocks, we'll collect trees, and we'll start a fire right over there. With two rocks, smashing it up together, it will take a lot of time. Once the fire is set, then we'll cook the particular meat, or cook the particular animal that we have hunted. And we don't even have any spices, we don't have salt, nothing. If I want something, I'll have to grow it, I'll have to find it, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of time being wasted right over here. Nowadays, the new modern way of cooking food, we have a proper stove, just one click of a button, and the stove has fire inside of it. We have all the spices, we can just order it up. We don't have to grow our own food, we don't have to kill our own food itself. We can just order it up, and in 10 minutes, by Blinkit or Swiggy or your Zepto, it will be at your home, right? So in the exact same manner, in C++, if you want to take in an input or give out an output, print out something, in that particular sense, C++, you can do it all from scratch. Just like in the ancient times, you can write all your code, and that's a very, very, very big and hectic thing. Okay, just printing something out, it will take you 100, 200 lines of code. You don't want to do that. You want to make things as simple as possible, right? You want to make things as simple as possible. Am I right or wrong, guys? Guys, I'm being very clear with this. Those students who are trying to act smart and write present sir in the live chat, you are not going to get any certificates from me. Because if you're writing present sir, that basically means you're not focusing upon the class. You're not learning anything right over there. And if you're not learning, then what is the point of the certificate? So we will not be giving you any certificates right over there. If you're interacting in the class, you are asking the questions, you are listening in the class, that is how you get the certificates. Okay, please try to make sure of that. You're here to learn. Certificates don't have any value. I've been a recruiter as well. Certificates have no value at all. The value that holds is of your knowledge. If you have the right knowledge, if you are able to answer questions in the interviews, that is what is important. No interviewer is going to sit there and ask you that, okay, show me your certificates. Nobody is going to do that. They're just going to ask you, okay, what technologies do you know? What languages do you know? You will say C++, they will ask you 3 questions on C++. If you're not able to answer them, then you are automatically rejected right over there. Nobody gets a placement through certificates. Please try to understand this. Nobody gets internships through certificates. Please make sure of that. Okay, make sure you guys are learning right over here. Okay. So in the exact same manner, guys, for C++ as well, to print something out, there is something called as a header file. The people who created C++, they created a file inside of which they wrote all the code for you to take in an input and output, so that you don't have to write that code again and again. Okay. A team of developers came together, and these 200 300 lines of code that helps you take in an input or give out, take in an input or give out an output, they wrote that entire code and they created a file called as a header file, guys. Okay. They created a file called as header file right over there, and this header file helps you not to write so much code. Okay, helps you directly to use the input and output tools. Okay, just like we have a stove, right? We don't have to create a fire from scratch. We can just have the stove, and just by clicking a button, we are having a fire right over there in the kitchen. Okay, so now to use this particular header file, the simplest way of doing that is to write the include statement that include this header file in our code, that imports all the code inside of the header file into your current code itself, what you are currently writing, and then you can continuously write your other code as well. So to do that, you just write a hash, okay, include iostream. iostream is basically the name of the header file that is called as the input output stream. Okay, input output stream, guys. The include statement basically is letting you know that we are going to use this particular header file inside of our code. So include this header file in your current code. So that gets the entire code present inside of the header file into your current file itself automatically. Now you can start using them. The next thing that we are going to do right over here is we're going to create a main function. So whenever a particular C++ code is being run, right? Whenever a C++ code is being run, what happens in the background is that when you click on this run button, right? Are you guys able to see this green run button right over there? Are you guys able to see this green run button right over there, guys? Yes. So this green run button, what it does is that when you press that, it finds a particular starting point. Okay, it finds a starting point in your code to start running your code itself. Now that starting point in your code is basically a particular code called as the main function. So right over here, if how to create that main function, you just write int main parenthesis curly braces, and whatever you want to do, you do it inside of this main function. This is the starting point. Whatever code that you want to write, whatever code that you want to run, you'll write it inside of this particular structure. Now what is the meaning of this structure? Okay, what is this int, what is this main? Okay, what is this concept called as functions? I will be explaining you guys in the upcoming classes when we will reach functions. As of this particular point of time, what I want you guys to understand is that this is the code that you write to create a starting point. Okay, to create a starting point from where you are able to start writing your code, from where the C++ engine is able to run your code itself. Okay, so right over here, guys, what do we want to do? We want to basically print something out. So to do that, we are going to find the std namespace. Okay, there's something called as a namespace, which basically contains the names of all the different like inbuilt functions, inbuilt variables that are there that you can directly start using. Like I said, just like the IO stream, right? So from the IO stream, there will be a namespace inside of the IO stream where the all the different tools that are there. Okay. So for example, this is a particular tool, right? This is a particular tool. This is a perfume, right? But I can call it as perfume. You guys might call it as something else, and so on and so forth. There might not be a common name for the same. Okay, like this helps me to remove my body odor. I can just press it and body odor is gone, right? So this is a perfume right over there. But I might call it as perfume. You might call it as toolite or whatever the case is. So people call it by various different names. So there needs to be a common naming convention that we are able to follow. Now that common naming convention is what is present inside of the STD, that is the standard namespace. Inside of this, for every single tool that is there inside of the IO stream, there's a common name given to it. Now from the STD namespace, we want to select the particular, the cout tool. Okay, cout basically helps you to print something out on your screen. Okay, cout basically helps you to print something out on your screen, guys. What do we want to print? We want to print hello world. We want to print hello world on our screen, guys. So what is happening right over here? We are selecting the standard namespace. From the standard namespace, we are selecting the cout tool that helps to print something out on our screen. And what do we want to print? We want to print hello world right over there. Now, what is the use of these colons or these less than symbols and all that? This is what we call as the grammar of programming language, okay, or the syntax. Just like in English, you are having punctuations and grammatical things itself in the exact same manner, okay? In the exact same manner, right over here as well, you are having a grammar, you are having the syntax. If you don't follow this syntax, then you're going to have a lot of problems. Your code is not going to work properly. So syntax is something that you learn slowly and steadily while writing more and more code. The more and more code that you basically write, the more you will be able to understand it. Okay? Okay, great. The next thing that we're going to do is, again, this particular line of code, you guys can ignore it right now because I have not yet taught you guys function. When I will be teaching guys function in the future, I will be explaining this line of code. You end the int main. Okay, you end the int main by writing return 0. Okay. So what is this return 0? What is this int main? I'll be explaining you guys when we'll be reaching functions. Up to that point of time, try to understand whatever code that you want to write, you write it in between this int main and this return 0. Whatever code that you want to write, you write it in between the int main and return 0, guys. What are these? What are their use case? What is the importance? I'll be teaching you guys now, like when we will be reaching functions as a topic. Do not worry about it. Now that I have written this particular code, I will click on the run button, guys. As you're able to see, hello world is being printed out on our screen, guys. Are you guys able to see this? Hello world is being printed out on our screen. Are you guys able to see this? Hello world is being printed out on our screen. Now, every single time you want to print something out, I don't want to write this std colon, okay? Because in a long code, I'll be printing a lot of stuff. I'll be using a lot of inputs and outputs. So I don't want to write this std again and again and again every single time I want to print something out. So what I can do is I can add another line of code right over here called as using namespace std. Okay, so in that particular manner, for the entire file, for the entire code that you are going to write, you're declaring that by default I'm using the namespace std. Okay, everywhere where I'm using any kind of cout or cin, I'm using the namespace std, so I don't have to write it again and again. So I can just remove it from right over here, and now I can directly write cout less than hello world. So if I again run this, as you're able to see, we are again getting hello world being printed out on our screen. IO stream की जगह कुछ भी लिख सकते हैं क्या? In your exam, can you write anything like any name on the like answer sheet? No, right? You want to write your own name so that you get the marks of that particular exam. In the exact same manner, this is the name of a particular file. You cannot change it. Okay? But yes, there are other header files that exist. Every header file has its own use case, has its own requirement itself. So yeah, that is separate. But yes, in our case, this is the particular header file that we need. Okay. Okay. Shall we go to the next topic, guys? Shall we go to the next topic, guys? Now, inside of this as well, for example, I want to print multiple lines of stuff. Okay, cout less than, and then I'm going to print this is a new line. Okay, what do you think will happen, guys? Right now, I'm printing two lines. What do you think will happen? Will they come in the same line? Will they come in two separate lines? What is going to happen, guys? Can you guys let me know? What do you guys think will happen? It is not necessary to be right. It is not necessary to be right. I know we are learning this for the very first time. Okay, but think, what do you think will happen right over here? People are saying it will print in the same line. Okay, what else, guys? Separate lines. Okay, so let's check it. Okay, the best way of learning programming is by doing, right? Because we can do it and look at it. So we'll just click on this run button, and as you're able to see, both of the stuff is being printed in the same line. I don't want that. I want it to start in a new line. How can I do that? One way of doing it would be to write a particular escape character, that is \n. Okay, using \n, it basically does not print \n on the screen. It basically puts the cursor in a new line. Okay, it puts the cursor in a new line, guys. So first it will print hello world, then \n, basically a new line. So it will shift the cursor in the new line, and then it will print the rest of the stuff. Let us run this again. So as you're able to see, it is being printed in two lines right over here, hello world, and this is a new line. Okay, and this is a new line. So you can use \n to make the cursor go into a new line, guys. Okay, to make the cursor go into the new line. You can also write it down like this. For example, hello world, then again less than, and then again \n. Okay, so you don't have to write it in the same word. You can also write it separately. So what will happen is that both of these will be printed on your screen, guys. So again, the same thing will happen. First, hello world will get printed, and then a \n. So the \n basically means a new line. So again, the cursor will go into the new line, and then it will print this is a new line. Okay, so if we run this once again, as you're able to see, it is going to look the exact same thing. if I want multiple new lines, okay, I want a particular gap in between these two lines, hello world, then one line should be entirely blank, and then this is a new line. Okay, hello world, then one line should be entirely blank, and then this is a new line. If I want to do that, then I can just put double backslash n's. Okay, so the first backslash n is basically saying that okay, go to the new line. The second backslash n is saying again go to a new line and then start writing. So there will be a gap right over there. So if I run this, as you're able to see right over here, we are having hello world, then a completely blank line, and then this is a new line. Another way of doing it would be to use a particular STD standard namespace word itself, that is end L. That is end L. End L basically says that this is where the line ends. Okay? End L basically says this is where the line ends. So while printing something new, the cursor automatically starts from a new line. Okay? End L basically means this is where the line ends. Okay? End lines. So it will go to the next line and start printing. So if I click on run, as you're able to see, we are still getting the stuff in two separate lines. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. What is the difference between backslash n and end L? The difference between both the same is that your backslash n is an escape character, but your end L is a STD, that is not sexually transmitted diseases. It is a standard namespace word itself that is already inbuilt inside of IOStream. So both have two separate words, but they do the exact same thing approximately. Okay. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to learn about is comments inside of programming or C++ in general. Now, in your daily life, you hear a lot of comments, right? You don't want these comments to make any kind of difference in your life, but you still hear them. In the exact same manner, while writing code, you are currently writing very small code right over here. But when you will be working for companies, there will be thousands and hundreds and thousands of lines of code in the same file. Now, just looking at a code, it becomes very difficult to understand what does the code do. So you want to write a little bit of English explaining what does this code actually do. That is where comments come into picture. Comments are not code. First of all, try to understand this. Comments are not code. Comments are just notes. Comments are just normal English. Your computer ignores these comments while compiling your code. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. So the best and the most easiest way of commenting things is a single line comment. For that, you basically put two forward slashes and whatever you want to write. This is a single line comment. Okay, so this is what we call as a single line comment, guys. Okay, then there is a multi-line comment as well. If you want to write a paragraph or something like that while making notes, what you can do is you can use a multi-line comment. Creating a multi-line comment is very simple. You have a forward slash and then star, and then you end it up with star and then forward slash, star and then forward slash. Whatever you want to write, you can write it down in between these two things itself. So for example, this is a multi-line CMT comment. I love C++, but not CP. Okay, so this is what we call as a multi-line comment, guys. Sriram, Sunil, I think so. You are already late. The bootcamp has already ended. ऐसा नहीं है, but I have already said the answer to that. Somebody please help Mr. Sunil with his question. Okay. Okay. So right over here, guys, this is what we call as a multi-line comment. Okay. This is what we call as a multi-line comment right over there. Here you can write as many lines of comment that you want. Now, for example, right over here, guys, as you're able to see, these are two lines of code. I am currently not liking these two lines of code. I don't want these two lines of code. I want to convert them into a comment. I want to convert these two lines of code into a comment. So what I can do is I can just select these two lines. Okay, I can just select these two lines. I'll do control and then forward slash. Control and then forward slash right over there. This will comment the two lines of code for me. Okay. This will comment the two lines of code for me. If I want to decomment it, if I want to convert it back into a normal particular code, so what I can do is I can just again select these two lines of comment, again control plus forward slash, and as you're able to see, both the lines of code have now been uncommented. Okay, now they are code once again. Okay, so you guys can use this to comment multiple lines at the same time if you guys want to do it. Okay, so that will be faster and much more efficient as well. Will that be fine with everybody? Please let me know. What's the timing of ending session? I don't know, Sohail. It depends upon my mood. Okay. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Yes, everybody is able to understand this. Okay, great. Awesome, guys. The next thing that is there is called as your data types. Okay. Where is my pen? Okay, there's a lot of data that is present all around you, right? You might see some numbers, you might see some decimal numbers, you might see some text on your screen as well. So all these numbers that are present all around you, in every single programming language, they are represented by different data types. They are classified into different data types right over there. Now, please try to understand this, that maybe you guys have learned other programming languages before coming to this particular bootcamp, or in the future you might go for some other and learn some other particular programming language as well. Try to understand in every single programming language, the way these data have been divided into various different types is different. It is not the same. It is not the same, guys. In every single programming language, the data has been divided into various different types and they are different right with it. So maybe you have learned Java or maybe you have learned Python. So don't think that in C++ as well, the same thing is going to happen. It might be same, it might be different. You don't know about it. So right over here for C++, the data types that we are going to learn about. Where is my pen? Why is it not coming on the screen? Oh, I've not put in the wire to with the tablet itself. Okay. We are going to learn about int. We are going to learn about double. We are going to learn about char. We're going to learn about string. We are going to learn about bool. These are the easiest ones that we are going to learn about right now. Now, as the word int basically means integer, so it represents the integer based numbers. For example, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 69, okay, and so on and so forth. These are what we call as integers or int, okay, stores integers or whole numbers. Then you are having double, right? Double stores basically your decimal numbers, stores floating point numbers or decimal numbers right over there. For example, 3.14 minus 3.14, 28.28, and so on and so forth. So double basically stores a particular decimal valued number itself, whether it be negative or positive, we don't care about that. Char stores a single character. It is also called as character, char, or character right over there, and it stores a single character. For example, a, or for example z right over there, or let's say f right over here, and so on and so forth. It stores just a single character. It can also store a single character in terms of numbers. So 0, okay, or 1 or 2, but it should be just one particular character and it should be in between single quotation marks. Okay, it should be in between single quotation marks, guys. This is how you create character. Then you are having strings. Strings are your normal text itself. For example, hello world. Okay, that is your string. Okay, it can contain anything. It can contain numbers inside of it. It can contain text, capital letters, small letters, anything inside of it. It should just be in between double quotation marks. Just be in between double quotation marks, guys. Bool is basically your Boolean values that basically represents true and false. That's it. True and false value. There are only two values in Boolean, guys. That is true and false values. That's it, guys. There's nothing else right over there. Is DSA different for every language? No, DSA is the same. The implementation is different based on the syntax right over there. So these are the different particular data types that you are having. Now, have you guys heard about variables? Have you guys heard about variables? I think so. Everybody in this boot camp has heard about variables in their childhood. Okay, apple is X. Apple has, we have 0 apples. So apples is equals to 0. We have 5 bananas. So bananas is equals to 5. So fruits is equals to apples plus bananas. That is 5, and so on and so forth. Again and again, people will ask you to find the value of your X when you know currently that your X has no value, but you still have to find the value of X at some particular point of time, right? So these were all variables. Variables are basically nicknames for some values so that you are able to use those values at a later point of time as well. Okay. So in the exact same manner, guys, inside of every single programming language, there are variables. To create a variable, what is the difference between C++ and CPP? The same difference between a dog and my dog. Okay, there's no difference. It's the exact same thing. Okay. Okay. So C++ in another way is also written as CPP. Okay. So right over here, guys, if you want to create variables inside of your programming language, that is C++, it is actually pretty simple. What is the difference between str and character? What do you think? Just look at these two examples and you let me know what do you think is the main difference between a character and a string, guys. If you are not able to identify that, I think so programming is not for you then. Okay. So right over here, guys, as I was able to say it correctly, when you create a particular variable, so the variable is going to contain some kind of value inside of it. Am I right, guys? The variable is going to contain some kind of value inside of it. Am I right? So there will be some variable name that will contain some value inside of it. Now, this value will have a data type. This value will have certain data type if it contains integer, or if it contains double, if it contains your character, if it contains a string. You don't know what, but there will be a data type. So while creating a variable inside of C++, we create it by declaring that data type as well. So type, that what is the data type of this particular variable, then the variable name, and then the value that it contains. For example, if I want to create an a variable called as rent that contains an integer inside of it, so I'll have to write it in such a way that int rent is equals to then the value that I want to do inside of it, 35,000. And that is how I create a particular rent. Okay, that is how we create a particular rent right over there. The particular variable called as rent that contains integer inside of it. Double, and there's no float inside of C++. There's only double. It contains decimals inside of it. Any decimal numbers that you want to put, you put it inside of a floating point number. Okay, so that is how you create a variable inside of our programming language, that is C++. When will we get the certificate of this program, sir? Ramadevi Balla, if you are concerned with that on the very first day of the 7 days boot camp, then I think so this boot camp is not for you, because the certificates will only be given after the entire 7 days is over, after all the attendance have been taken up, after we have cross-verified it, we have sent the attendance link to the concerned authorities itself, that is the companies that is issuing the certificates. It gets approved and then the certificates get sent on your email IDs. Okay? Okay. Sir, 7 days bootcamp is enough for placements. अरे भाई पहला statement मैंने बोला था. Data structures and algorithms takes 3 to 4 months at the bare minimum to learn. And without data structures and algorithms, you will get no placements in any kind of MNCs. If you are not learning data structures and algorithms, if you are not learning competitive programming properly, please believe me, no MNC, whether it is going to be a 3 lakh rupees per annum MNC or 30 lakh rupees per annum in MNCs, they are not going to take you in. Okay, are you guys able to understand it? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Okay, if you are thinking that I will just learn data structures, I will just learn data structures and algorithms, I will just learn data science, I'll just learn machine learning, AI, I'll learn web development, and I'll get a job in like Microsoft or Amazon or even TCS, Infosys, it's not going to happen. Every company requires data structures and algorithms. Without that, you are going to get no particular help. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. So let us try to code it out right now, guys. So let us go back to our code and let's try to do that. Okay, so right over here, guys, let us create our own variable. So var, and then sorry, not var, very sorry, JavaScript nikal gaya. Okay, int, then you are having your rent is equals to 35,000, 35,123. Now again, use this rent again. Okay, so what I'll be doing right over here is that I'll do C out less than, I'll do an int L right over here, int L, and I'll print rent out. Okay, so I'll do this. Okay, rent is equals to, and then I will print the rent right over there. So what I've done right over here is that I just don't want 35,000 to be coming up on my screen. I don't want just 35,000 to be coming up on our screen. I'm given 3 months in Java DSA, but I think I didn't learn everything. It is impossible to learn everything in data structures and algorithms. There are certain algorithms, there are certain data structures that you have to learn. And after doing that, it is just completed programming. You have to practice it on lead code continuously, or practice it on CodeShip continuously, or practice from code forces continuously. That is all that you can do. It takes 1.5 years to 2 years. For me, it took 2 years because I'm a very slow learner. But yeah, that is the time duration that you will have to give. So as you're able to see right over here, what I've done is that I've first printed out rent is equals to something, because that is the text, that is the string that I want to print. And then after that, I'm printing the variable as well. What is the value present inside of the variable? Okay, you cannot print a variable. You print the value present inside of the variable, guys. So if I press enter right over here, as you're able to see, I'm getting rent is equals to 35,000 printing out on our screen, guys. Okay, we are getting rent is equals to 35,000 being printed out on our screen. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Yes, Atharva, please focus upon the class. Okay, please don't learn C. Learn either C++ or Java. C is taught to you guys in your college. It has no value to it. Okay. Okay. So this is how you can print what is the value present inside of the variable itself. You don't have to worry about that. The next thing that we are going to see right over here, will stop here itself because I have another class right now. I'll explain to you guys how the attendance is going to be taken up so that you guys are able to fill the attendance properly. So let me first see if your attendance has been created or not. ऊपर वाला नहीं प्रिंट हुआ, नहीं भाई, ऊपर वाला प्रिंट हुआ बट मैंने स्क्रॉल नहीं किया. हेलो वर्ल्ड, दिस इज अ न्यू लाइन, रेंट इज इक्वल टू 35,000. So it is being printed, just that I didn't scroll it to the top. Okay. Okay. So there are going to be two things right over here, guys. The first thing that is going to be there is will be your attendance. Okay, that is something that you will have to fill. Along with that, we have started a particular new internship program for you guys as well, which is also free of cost. I don't know why, but many of you guys asked us that along with the certificates, if we could issue any kind of internships as well. So for that particular reason itself, we have come up with a free internship. We don't take any charges for that. We don't even do anything inside of the internship. It is just so that you guys ask for it. So we are providing for the same itself. Now, during this internship, not everybody gets selected. We only select a few candidates itself. So what we do is we give you a small work that you can complete in like 20 minutes. If you're able to do that work in 20 minutes, then you get onboarded as a citizen, and then there's nothing. You don't have to do anything after that because we don't have any work. So the students who get selected, they get an offer letter, an internship certificate, a letter of recommendation. They get one free course every single month that is created by me. So the current course is a 30-hour long front-end web development, like with 6+ projects and all that. They get that as well. Monthly access to some premium boot camps that we conduct on Zoom and so on and so forth. So that is what is there. And some of the students who maybe perform well during the internship, they also get stipends and goodies as well. So again, this is free of cost. We don't charge anything. How many of you guys will be interested in something like this? Please let me know. How many of you guys will be interested in something like this, guys? Please let me know. So for those who are interested, you can just mark you are interested right over here in today's attendance, and we'll take that into consideration. Also that the bootcamp, we are not going to stop. Okay? We are going to continue with the boot camps as well. So the next free boot camp that we are conducting is the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript Hotstar clone boot camp. This is going to start from 16th of August, in which we'll be creating the entirety of the Hotstar clone using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We'll also be learning that. Again, it is going to be free of cost, so you don't have to worry. If you're interested in that as well, you can just mark yes, and that's it. Okay. So okay. So that's it, guys. Now I'll give you guys the attendance link in the live chat, and you guys can start filling up your attendance as well. Okay, today I'll keep the attendance open for 10 minutes, but from tomorrow onwards, the attendance will be closed in 5 minutes. If you're getting a traffic error, please just refresh or reload the attendance. If you're getting a traffic error while opening up the attendance, just refresh or reload the attendance, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Yes? Okay. So I'll give you guys the attendance link right now. You can start filling up the attendance. If you are getting a traffic error or something like that, just refresh or reload the attendance. I'll pin the attendance up in the live chat so that you guys are able to access it. Okay, the attendance link is in the live chat, guys. You guys can start filling up the attendance. Once I've filled up the attendance, you guys can leave the class as well. Once I've filled up the attendance, guys, you guys can leave the class as well. The class is over. Okay. Once I've filled up the attendance, you guys can leave the class as well. The class is over. We'll meet in our tomorrow's class at the same time, and we'll continue from right over there. Okay. The attendance is in the live chat, guys. You guys can start filling up the attendance right now. Okay. The attendance is in the live chat, guys. You guys can start filling up your attendance right now. The attendance link is in the live chat, guys. You guys can start filling up your attendance right now. We'll meet in our tomorrow's class and we'll continue from right over there, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Bye.